Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to In the Greenhouse, the little relaxed behind-the-scenes series where we get to talk a little bit about some of Seri's personal life, some of the awesome stuff going on our community and on our channel, and we also get to talk about some natural world facts and details, which I am so excited about. But today, someone asked me my all-time favorite question, and so that one immediately jumped to the top of the list so that I can talk about my favorite books. Oh, I'm a big book reader. I absolutely adore reading books, and I'm very excited about that. And not only am I excited about the books, but I'm also very excited to show you guys that my plant breeding project has produced an interesting cross between our fabled four-petal, or our fabled fan leaf, which is the little blue plant on the left, and the four-petal maple. So I want to see what that's going to turn into. So let's get that sucker planted in there. But yes, so this is kind of a reading in the greenhouse because I absolutely love reading. I'm a big book fan. I always have been. I think that is one of the reasons that I am able to keep stories as consistently as I do in the series, is because I absolutely adore reading. And I adore storytelling and world building. And so to go along with that, my favorite series in terms of nonfiction is actually James Herriot's autobiographies. And if you know who James Herriot is, you are making me so happy, making my heart so happy. He was a Yorkshire vet back in the early 1900s, and the books that he wrote are stories about when he used to be a vet and work with the country animals and people's pets. They are deeply moving, beautifully written stories that I highly suggest if you happen to enjoy if you happen to enjoy animals at all, and especially if you want to know what it was like to be a veterinarian back then, because it's really fascinating. It actually covers not only his early years as a brand new vet, freshly graduated, and I have to say, reading, that was back, let's see, before the Great Depression, and this was also set in a different country than the United States Great Depression, but the Great Depression did have a global effect. You can kind of see my boyfriend's history profession rubbing off on me right there. But anyway, the series, dragonfly. The series begins. Oh, we got it! I've been trying to catch that little one for forever. The dart dragonfly. The series begins when Herriot actually graduates from his vet school and gets his first job as a veterinarian assistant. And reading it, I'm listening to the ebooks actually while I go walking and jogging lately. I must have read this series dozens of times over the years. If you have read the James Herriot series, please tell me in the comments what your favorite stories from those series are, and then we can do a whole nother episode where we just reminisce about like the favorite little stories, the ones that make you cry, the ones that touch you, because these are believable real life accounts of this man's life when he worked as a veterinarian. And he tells the stories in such a way that you read these things and you're like, these people aren't even alive anymore, but you feel their emotions and their complexity. You fall in love with the land that he describes. It's really wonderful. I think for those of you who live in the UK, you might have even had a chance to see the TV series that I think they made, and I don't know if it's any good. I'm listening to the ebooks for the first time, and I will admit, when you're an American reading these series, you have one accent in your head for everybody, and then when you're listening to the ebooks and it's like appropriate accents, you're totally blown away. But yeah, so the James Herriot series. Oh no, not a bamboo! Why are you a bamboo? But you're such a beautiful cross of my favorite plants. Why did you produce the bamboo? I'm kind of bored of the bamboo because they're weird color. I mean, they're all sickly yellow, but anyway, yeah, James Herriot, totally awesome. It's a big book series too. So if you're like me and you love sitting back and reading a series for eons, I love epic, long book series. Then it's right up your alley. I highly recommend it. Highly, if you like animals at all, if you like reading at all, if you like both of those things, then just try it out. It might be different from what you usually read, but you might pull away a lot about human nature and everything from the series. I hope so, at least. I mean, we might as well. Let's put a few this is a little thing to boost the plant food, boost how many flowers they have. So we might as well use it on this because I want the bamboo to at least look pretty. And look at how many flowers are on this blazing fan leaf. That is amazing. We're going to sell it for extra because it's so covered in flowers. And we're going to sell this for less because it only has a couple of flowers. It's a clearance fabled fern. But just really quickly, my other favorite book series, and these are great recommendations. These are books that I thought carefully about recommending if you guys are looking for something to read over the summer or whenever you're listening to this. The Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson, which has finally hit book 2. Holy moly. If you love epic fantasy, I cannot recommend the Sanderson series enough. The Stormlight Archive is the series name. The Way of Kings is the first book. I listened to them on ebook and they blew me away. I listen to a lot of ebooks while I go jogging and walking because I think walking and running are really boring unless you can stop and take pictures of plants, and that defeats the purpose of exercising. So to keep me going, I listen to ebooks because then the rule is I only get to listen to the story when I'm working out, and then it helps. But the Stormlight Archive is a epic fantasy series that blew everything else that I've read lately out of the water. I've read the entire Game of Thrones series. I don't like it. It's too violent for me. Too violent in a way that doesn't contribute to the story. I can excuse violence in a media platform, books, movies, video games, if it serves a purpose. And as someone who has been in creative writing courses all the way up through uni, who has had a few little tiny things published, I even had to write screenplays. They weren't published, but you had to do them to learn and things like that. I know that there's a balance. You want to balance the shock factor with building the world and building the plot and building the characters. And I just feel like Game of Thrones is a little excessive in its shock factors. So it's not for me. It's not for me. It's a little too violent. I don't enjoy them. But I love epic fantasies and I love world builders, and it's very hard to find truly epic world building fantasies, and this is where Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives comes in. This is a world that is so unique that he has even gone through and it changed the entire political system. He has built an entire unique geography system. The biology of the plants is mind-blowingly unique and plays a central role in the stories themselves. The magic system is completely different from any other magic system that I have ever read before. So when someone goes through the trouble to world build from the plants and the rocks all the way up to the magic system and the hierarchy of your different political systems in dozens of different countries, that's an amazing fantasy series. And it has violence in terms of what's needed for the story, but it's not graphic, it's not excessive, and every time someone does something truly violent, there's an emotional toll for it that I feel really balances out the way that being violent is. If you are aggressive and violent, there's a toll somewhere, or there was a cost at some point. Oh, we sold all our plants. Oh, just one left. I'm gonna sit and see if anyone will buy this beautiful, look at all those flowers. And yeah, the Stormlight Archive, it's an epic fantasy built up around, I don't even know how to describe the plot. It's so sweeping, but I really love it. So if you really like to tuck in and you don't really like violence and you don't really like having to flinch and look away from your book now and then because something really graphic and nasty just happened, you can settle into this series with relief, knowing that it's a safe way to engage in a beautiful fantasy world that's not going to leave you feeling like you got an unexpected slap when all of a sudden something for shock value is just put in your book. So it's amazing. Highly recommended. And then by a less well-known author, actually, the Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, and she is an amazing author. I love her series. It is definitely more meant for your older teens, so your older teens and adults at least. Again, not graphic, just a little bit explicit here and there. And it's an amazing, unique fantasy series again. I really love the fantasy series. It's a 3-book trilogy, and it covers... Oh, yay, it's sold! and it covers just a unique story fantasy story world. You have your unique countries again, and what I love about N.K. Jemisin is that she makes sure to put true diversity in her character cast. She truly has like people from all walks of life. We're not just like talking about your token characters tucked in here and there. She makes sure that she has characters who could be considered to have like handicaps or disabilities, but they're not portrayed as tokens. They're portrayed as actual people, which is so relief. Like, it's such a relief. I love seeing that. Let's see. You know, I know it probably doesn't do anything, but I want to propagate this particular blazing fan leaf because I'm hoping we can get another gigantic, beautiful set of flowers. Let's see. And actually, I'm going to... Fabled Ferns, you guys need to sell for a lot more as a regular price now. But yeah, so those are my 3 favorite like books off the top of my head. However, there's more. World War Z, the book, not the movie. I don't even know what the heck they were doing for the movie. That's kind of like a family member of mine, a distant family member, and now I can't name the book because I said that, wrote a book series that about 10 years after it was published got turned into a screenplay, a really flashy sort of action movie that hit for summer blockbusters. So it was kind of amazing to know, hey, that's my cousin's book. I remember when he gave that to me at the family reunion when I was just a little kid. And all of a sudden his book got turned into a movie, and he's really good at what he does. He's a distant cousin of mine, so it's not like I'm trying to be like, ooh, famous guy in my family. He's put hard work, years and years of hard work into becoming the author that he is, and I respect him deeply for that. And I love that I know that he's a good man too, because sometimes you hear about those famous people and you wonder, I don't know, but no, he's a really good man. But his series was totally different. The book is one thing and the movie is another thing, and it's the same with World War Z. World War Z, the book, is about post-apocalyptic zombie world, which is kind of the deadest of the dead horses, which is a little ironic right now. But I read it years ago, and it is one of the best suspense, thoughtful, provoking books I've ever read, and it's one of the ones that I can be reading and it will make me jump out of my skin. World War Z doesn't follow just one character. It goes, this is after actually the zombies have started to be controlled, but it goes as a reporter travels the world and interviews people from all walks of life, which is an amazing way to do it. He interviews people who are like in the dark drug trade, astronauts, just your average housewife who now leads entire communities because she was able to survive. He interviews survivors. He interviews people in countries that after the zombie apocalypse have completely changed how the country is run. They become more religious. They become excluded. They become more open. They're gone because they were wiped out. He covers like interviews with people who worked with dogs to like fight the zombies. He interviews military personnel. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. It's a really, really good book series, or a book. It's just one book. Oh, we finally got that butterfly. We're getting some of the rare ones now. I'm learning to be more patient. The rare golden butterfly. So yeah, highly recommend World War Z if you like a little bit of horror. It's not that graphic and violent, if I can recall off the top of my head, a little bit, because it's zombies. But it's really more of an emotional provoker, I found, so it was pretty cool. Let's see, let's get some of you over here. Oh, I missed that ladybug. All right, and then deep breath. Almost there. I knew this was going to set me off when someone said, what's your favorite book to read? And so to reward everyone for sitting through everything so long, we'll use the Instagrow Vapor Bomb. It's pretty expensive, but for you guys, I'll buy it. And then we'll use it on these weird little bamboos so we can see what they turn into. Pew! Look at it go! Oi, if you're gonna be bamboo, at least bloom pretty. Alright, it still is gonna bud in 10 minutes, so I guess we'll have to find out next time. Drat. That's okay. But we will finish up. Deep breath. Oh no, my seed box is full. Drat. Oh well, I'll just sell these. But we will finish up with me letting you guys know. Let's see how much we can try to get this plant for. my favorite manga, because I did study Japanese for several years and I do still read a ton of manga. I just finished catching up on Skip Beat, actually. My tastes are really diverse, but my three favorite manga that I can highly suggest if you enjoy reading manga, which is just graphic novels, usually written in Japan and then translated into English, because I still am learning. Years and years of study and I'm still learning enough Japanese. Oh, there's another one of the green butterflies. I really want the green butterfly. Come here. No. Gotcha. There we go. Anatolia's Story, or Red River, by Chi Shinohara. It is one of the best historical fiction manga that I've read. It's really sweet. It's adorable. A girl gets pulled back through time. Wow, we've heard that story before, but it's actually set in... Oh, how would I describe this? It's basically set kind of in the ancient Middle East, sort of. A little bit of magic, a little bit of fantasy tossed in, but it's just a fun story of seeing this, your average girl transform into someone who's worthy of leading a country, and does it through her own value, worth, and goodness. And I always love reading those kinds of stories. And then, let's just sell my little fabled fan leaves. I'm so proud of you guys. You do such good work. Oh no, my seed box. It's so full. Go away, bamboo. And then also my favorite mangaka is definitely Yumi Tomura of Seven Seeds and Basara. And if you guys know Seven Seeds or Basara, I highly recommend both of those if you enjoy, again, your epic long, going on 100+ chapters each sort of manga. But Seven Seeds is set in post-apocalyptic future, a little more violent, but definitely very emotional and fascinating. And I love the stories where things are kind of at their max, and how do people not only just survive, but how do they handle it emotionally? How do you sit and realize that you're living like with yourself and like 50 other people, you were frozen cryogenically, and you wake up and it's hundreds, possibly more than hundreds of years after the end of the world. All of humanity's gone, you're the only ones left. Like, how do you handle that emotionally? First, just to survive, then to stabilize so that you can eat and not be eaten and not kill each other, and then to go far enough to actually find significance in your life from there. So I love those kinds of stories. And Basara is kind of written like a historical fiction manga. Again, it's very similar to Red River, but it's set actually in future Japan, post-apocalyptic future Japan again, but with a different twist. Like, things are more medieval. And so I really love both of those. I highly recommend them if you like manga. I highly recommend James Herriot, Stormlight Archives, the Inheritance Trilogy, and World War Z. If you guys have read any of those, let me know. And please let me know what your favorite books are, especially if you happen to like the same kind that I do, epic fantasy novels. I'm always looking for more to read. So if you have any book suggestions, please leave them below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I hope you can grab a book and sit outside for a little while if you happen to enjoy doing those things. I know I'm going to do that right now. Alright, my little bookworm extravaganza is over, and next time we will talk a little bit more about some biology facts and some more personal facts. So we'll do that next time, guys. Bye-bye.